Hey folks, welcome back to another video. In one of my previous videos, we had looked at how we can build a custom function inside of Google Sheets to integrate Bard using the PaLM API and Google Apps Script. In this video, we're going to be doing something different. I have a Google Doc that I want to create a summary for. I have some paragraph here that when I run the code, I want this to generate a AI summary that I send to Google Bard and it gives me a response. And right below this paragraph, it pastes the summary. We had done something similar in one of my old videos where we had done the same thing using the OpenAI API and Google Apps Script. We'll be doing something similar inside of this video too, where I'll be showing you how to invoke the PaLM API inside of a Google Doc to generate summaries for paragraphs. So first off, I'm going to go to my Maker Suite, and if you are watching this video for the first time, I would recommend you to go and check out the previous tutorial series that is getting started with PaLM 2, where I explain you how you can access Maker Suite, apply for the waitlist. Once you get the waitlist, how to get started. So I'm just going to go ahead here. I'm going to go to my get API key. I've already created one API key, but in case you want to create a new one, all you do is create API key in a new project, or you create an API key in an existing project that you have on your Google Cloud Console. So now that we have the API key ready, I think let's just go to our Google Doc. And this is the Google Doc that I have here. So if you want to work with the Google Doc, I'll be leaving that link in the description. You can check that out. And I'm just going to open up my extensions. I'm going to go to my Google Apps Script editor. And I'm here. I'm just going to close this off. I'm going to clear this out and I'm going to create a new function here called onOpen. So I want to create a custom menu that when I go back to my Google Doc, it should come up here. And when I click on it and I select this paragraph, it should generate a summary for me. I'm going to make this open and I'm going to be creating a new variable called UI. And inside this, I'm going to be doing spreadsheet app.get UI. And once I've done this, I want to create a menu. So I'm going to do create menu. And I'm just going to give this a name as custom menu. And now that I have this part of the code sorted, I'm going to go to add item. And inside of this, I'm going to be writing summarize selected paragraph. And here I'm going to be specifying the function that I'm going to be running. So I'll be just specifying that in a while. So I'm going to be creating a new function here called function doc summary. And inside of this, I'm going to be having a parameter called paragraph. Just going to make this small p. And once I have that, I'm going to open up my brackets. I'm going to go here. And the first thing I'm going to be doing is declaring my API key. So I'm going to do API key. And I'm just going to paste in the API key that I generated a while back. After this, I'm going to be doing another variable called API URL. That is going to be the endpoint at which where we want to send the post call to, right? So I'm going to just clear this. I'm going to paste this here. Now that we have that, I want to create a final URL that will be consisting of the API URL itself plus the key that's going to be there, question mark key equal to, and then inside of this key parameter, I'm going to be passing API key. So we have our final endpoint ready. After this, I'm going to be creating a new variable called headers. Inside of this, I'm going to be going here. I'm going to be writing content type, and inside of this content type, it's going to be application/JSON. I think throughout the previous videos, you might have understood that our post calls and everything is going to be, and the responses that we get are going to be in the form of JSON. After this, I'm going to be creating a variable called prompt. And inside of this prompt variable, I'm going to be creating something called text. And inside of this, I will write a prompt saying, please generate a short summary for, and I'm going to add a slash in here. I'm going to close up my parentheses and the quotes, and I'm going to add the paragraph variable here. Oops, I forgot to close this one here. And inside here, I'm going to be adding the paragraph variable. Now that we have that part clear, I'm going to be going and creating a new variable called request body. And inside of this request body, I'm just going to be specifying my prompt with the prompt variable that we just built right now. And now that we have that done, it's finally to the last step. That's going to be variable options that will be containing all of this. So I'm going to open up the brackets here. And the first thing that I'm going to be specifying is the method So that method is going to be post. After that, I'm going to be specifying the headers. And inside of the headers, I'm just going to be specifying the headers variable that we declared. And in the end, I'm going to be specifying the payload. And for this payload, it's going to be JSON.stringify. And inside this, I'm going to be adding the request body that we just created. Now that we have all of this cleared, it's time to send an API call, right? It's time to fetch the URL. So I'm going to be creating a new variable called response. And inside of this, I'm going to be using the URL fetch app, and I'm going to be fetching the URL that we created, the final one, and I'm going to be passing the options variable too as a parameter inside it. After this, once I make the API call, I am going to be getting some data back. So I'm going to do JSON.parse. And inside of this, I'm going to be doing response.get content text. And once I have that, when I get a response from Bard, it gives me multiple drafts as we had observed in the previous videos and the OpenAI videos too. So we're going to be doing return this time, and we're going to be doing data.candidates. And inside of this candidate, it's going to be 0. That's going to be the first one, and we're going to be specifying it as output. So we have sent a call, we have got a response back, and we have returned that data. It's time to create our final function that's going to be summarize the selected paragraph. So I'm going to specify the function name here as summarize selected paragraph. I'm going to be creating a new function, going to paste this here, and now it's going to be the interesting part. So as I mentioned previously, as soon as I select this and I click run, I want a new summary to come below here. So we're going to be doing something called selection. So I'm going to be doing variable.selection equals to document app.get it's going to be document app.get active document, and after that I want to do a get selection. So this function, or this variable, is going to be containing the selected paragraph the paragraph that I just selected right now. After that, I'm going to be doing variable text, and inside this I'm going to be doing selection dot get range elements. Close this, going to add 0. It's going to be the first one. Then I'm going to be doing get element, and after that the final function is going to be get the text. And now that we're done with that, I just want to go and create a new variable called summary. And inside of this, I'm going to be calling the generate summary function. That's going to be doc summary function. And inside of this doc summary function, I'm going to be passing the text variable. And after this, I'm going to be doing document app dot get active document. And after this, I'm going to be doing dot get body. And after this, I'm just going to be doing append paragraph. I'm going to go down to paragraph. And inside of this, I'm going to be pasting summary. That's going to be just a short title for it. And after this, I'm going to be pasting the actual summary that we have received from Google Bard or using the PaLM API. So we're going to be doing get body, and after this I'm going to be doing dot append paragraph. Go down here, and inside of this I'm going to be specifying the summary variable that we declared. Our code is ready and good to go, and we have everything cleared and sorted. It's time to go ahead and run the onOpen function that will create the menu inside of our Google Sheet. We forgot one function here, or the one final thing that we had to do was add to UI, because without that we won't be able to send it to the Google Doc. So I'm going to click on save. I'm going to go ahead and click on run. For that, you need to accept some permissions. So we just have to sign in with our account. We go to advanced, we go to the project, and we just say see and edit all your documents, connect to an external service. That's going to be the PaLM API. And we click on allow, and it has been authorized. Oops, we did not have to do spreadsheet. It's going to be document. It's going to be document app. I'm going to click on save. I'm going to click on run. And our execution started and is completed. So we'll go back to our Google Doc. And here you can see the custom menu has successfully come, and we'll just select this paragraph, go to custom menu and click on summarize selected paragraph. And here you can see within a few seconds, this has generated an entire summary for this particular paragraph using the PaLM API and Google Apps Script. So this is how we can actually create summaries inside of Google Docs using the Palm API and Google App Script. I'll be leaving the Google Doc link and the code link in the description. You can check that out. If you like this video, then don't forget to like, share, and for more content, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.